Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Kahalayim La, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAAHWABAN. Forgive me the spirit through this lesson. I want to give double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, teach them real well. And peace, love, and blessings to all four elect scattered abroad. I'm the brother you call from Prophets in Babylon, Sarasota, which is a branch of the Prophets in Babylon Tampa Church. Shalom to those brothers. And today, through the spirit and power of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAAHWABAN, I'm back with Lord willing and edifying lest defeat the sheep who believe on those nations, truth, and sincerity. Shalom to you and your families. And today's lesson is going to go into, Daniel, the 3rd chapter, dealing with our forefathers, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and how, when placed in a situation, okay, you have to remain faithful unto death. All right. And, the point of this lesson is, really going into how we're going to be put in these certain positions, but this is an example unto how we should be when put in these situations. Let me grab a precept right quick before I go into the story. This is the book of Romans, chapter 15, in verse 4, and it reads, "For whatsoever thing were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." So that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, man. So this is what, these accounts are for. It's not only for us to just read it and, have a good night's sleep. It's for us to read and apply to our walk and understand that we're going to be put in similar situations, but we have these accounts to look back on, all right? We have these accounts to look back on that when we're put in these situations, we know how to react. All right. And then you also have accounts of where you put situations and this is not how you react. So it's a balance. But anyway, I'm going to get into the lesson. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 3. In verse 1, it says, "Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was threescore cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, and the treasurers, and the counselors, and the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province of Babylon, and all the rulers of the province to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, and the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And then a herald cried aloud, To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, the same hour shall be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace." Now, this was over 2,000 years ago, man, where you had a heathen trying to set up an image that all people, nations, and languages should bow down and worship. Now, this sounds familiar, all right? This sounds very familiar because in today's time, fast forward, modern day 2024, all right, you have Esau, the so-called white man, coming with the same mentality of setting up an image that all should worship and bow down to, and that whosoever should not bow down and worship this man's image should be put to death. So this is something the heathen has always wanted to accomplish, man. All right? And that's why it's very important that we read. Scripture says, "Blessed is he that readeth," because we have these accounts of our forefathers saying, to hell with your image, to hell, with the idol you set up. We're going to serve our power, because Esau, the so-called white man, he's about to go all out to try and get you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans to bow down and worship his image, which is Rome revived. All right. His new world order. This is what he wants to do. But you have this account right here in the province of Babylon where Nebuchadnezzar was trying to set up an image. and trying to get ultimately Jake to depart. Because it's going to go into it. It says, Daniel chapter 3 and verse 7, Salaki not 7. It says, verse 8, it says, wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. So Jake always got tied in, to the heathens, agenda. All right, because the heathen have no power. The heathen have no God. But they understand that the Jews, which are the Negroes, the Negroes, but the Jews ultimately represent the whole house of Israel. But Jews come from the word Judah, but, we apply it to all of Israel. All right. But it says, wherefore at that time, certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. All right. Now, yeah, this is going into ancient Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar, but you got to think through the spirit. All right. This man, Esau, Edom, is about to be, this man is known as the accuser of our brethren. He's about to demonize us. He's about to come down with holy hell, to try to get you Israelites to submit to his ways, man. And he always have. Even when you go to the book of the Maccabees with Antiochus, and I'm going to get that account too. This has always been this man's agenda to get us to consent. All right, to consent to idolatry, to consent to depart from our power. Yahawah Shai. Now, Nebuchadnezzar wasn't an Edomite, he was a heathen. But it goes to show you the heathen, always in that mentality of setting up an image and trying to get you Israelites to go astray, man. All right? That's why it tells you in the book of Psalms, it says, let me grab it right quick. This is the book of Psalms chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? And the thing they imagine is to how can we do away with Israel? What can we do to separate Israel from their power? It says, the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Okay, so their whole agenda is to get us to depart from the Lord, our power. And it's always been with idolatry. It's always been with us departing from the heritage given unto us, man. Us departing from the law, statutes, commandments. The first commandment is what? Thou shalt serve no other God. Thou shalt put no other God before me. That's the first commandment. You think these heathens don't know that? Why do you think they're always trying to set up something to get Jake to commit idolatry, to go off, to serve another God? All right. It says, so back in Daniel 3, in verse 9, it says, they spake and said to the king, they spake and said to the king, Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. All right. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Right? They serve not thy gods, because we have a God, man. We have a power. And in the law it is written, thou shalt put no God before me. All right? There is no other God other than Yahawah Shai. Deuteronomy, what is that? See now that I am he, and there is no God with me. The book of Deuteronomy, I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. So there is no other power but Yahawah Shai. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar in his rage and fury commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do ye not serve my gods, nor the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, it says, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye shall fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? You know, so it was, you know, he tried to play on your fear. All right, tried to play on the flesh. Like, yeah, you know, if you don't bow down and worship, you're going to be put to death. Which is the same thing that Esau, the so-called white man, is about to do. Bringing out his guillotines, coming down with great wrath, making threats. If you don't, you know, and it's always been the threat of death, you know. And there's no, and it really through the spirit is no such thing as death, because you just go into the spirit realm. You know, you're departing from one realm and you're going to another, and your spirit don't die. That's why Yahawah said, "Fear not them that can destroy the body, but him that can destroy both body and soul in hell." Which it isn't no place where you go and burn forever. All right, the Lord can, you know, send you back in another body and have you all jacked up. You know. Leave your spirit, you know, in your body while you all mangled up. So he is the one to fear, the one that has control over the spirit. All right. So it says, verse 16, it says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. So they told him that, you know, to hell with you. All right. The Lord can deliver us out of your hand. And if he don't, we still not going to serve you. We still not going to bow down. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Now you gotta imagine this, man. You gotta imagine, you know, seeing. You have to imagine seeing, you know, what these 3 men are seeing. They're being binded up for their faith. All right, this damn heathen. All right, this damn demon. He done heated up the furnace 7 times more than that was already heated. All right. So much so that the ones who heated 7 times more, they were consumed in the fire. So you got to imagine seeing that, man. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound into the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the son of Yahawah, the son of Yahawah, all right, which is Yahawah, man. You know, his name is what? He delivers. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire, and the princes, governors, captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose body the fire had no power, man, right? Because the power comes from Yahawah, the Lord has power over the flesh and judgment, you know, and the elements. So if the Lord can have it to where the fire, you know, doesn't even consume you. The Lord can have it to where, you know, whatever Esau intends to do to harm this flesh, man, the Lord can reverse Uno that sucker, man. Uno reverse that sucker, man. All right. Let me grab a precept right quick. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 4 and verse 28. It reads, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. And these men strove for Yahawah BAHASHAM, even if it meant for them being put to death. So be it. Which that's a spirit the Lord has to put upon you. That's what spirit we praying for. The spirit of boldness. Like, man, you know what? Hey, you do what you got to do. I'm going to serve the Lord. It says, upon whose body the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither was their coat changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on. They didn't even have the smell of fire, bro. So the Lord sent YAHAWASHI to manipulate the elements. I mean, the Lord was well pleased with these men. He sent YAHAWASHI. He could have sent an angel. He could have sent a regular old angel. He sent YAHAWASHI, man. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who have sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him. And ye have changed the king's word, and yielded their bodies, that they may not serve nor worship any god except their own. Therefore I make a decree that every people, nation, and language which speak anything amidst the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after the sword. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. So, the Lord, delivered them out of the hand of the heathen. And not only did he do that, he even changed the king's whole counsel. Like, look, man, anybody that speaks against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, look, they gonna be put to death. So, and he promoted them in the province of Babylon. So they when you read up in the chapter, it tells you that when you read up in the chapter, it tells you that in the 12th verse, it says, there are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon. So they were already in a high position. They were set over the affairs because they were prophets. They were wise. They were wise men. So they were already set up over certain affairs in Babylon. And then they got promoted to another level. You see? So that was the favor of the Lord being bestowed upon these men for being faithful, even if it meant unto death. All right, and we're going to have that same mentality going into the time that we're about to come into, because this king, the king of Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon, Esau, the so-called white man, he's about to come down with it. All right, and I'm going to do as I promised earlier, and I'm going to go into the account of the Maccabees. This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1. In verse 41, it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. All right. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agree unto the, it says, so all the heathen agree according to the commandment of the king. So yeah, this was Esau being, a damn crafty devil. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws, his heritage, the tradition passed down unto you from your fathers. All right? It says, so all the heathen agree. Yeah, the heathen, they don't got no, they ain't got nothing anyway. All right? But who he really wanted to get was the Israelites. It says, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. So when you jump down a few verses, it says, matter of fact, I'm going to just read through. Verse 43, it says, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. So this what it really was about. That the Israelites may, leave from their ways and their customs and the heritage passed unto them, from the time of Moses, when the law was given unto us. Right? That's what it was all about. It says, for the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they shall follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. It says, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Okay, by having them commit these strange acts. All right? Idol worship, going after other gods, man. That Hakuna Matata spirit. You know? No worries. Doing as you will. It says, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances, right? To the end that we may forget the law, forget our power, you know, living like the heathen, being as the heathen. So this is what it's always been about, man. The heathen has always tried to come up with schemes and tactics to keep us from being who we are. Yashar Allah. All right? And we live in a time where this devil is about to really go all out with that. He about to really try to forward that agenda. All right? Psalms the 84th chapter. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's what they want. All right? It says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. So this is what Esau's agenda always been. Was for us to go astray from what the Lord has set out for us. How the Lord wants us to serve him by keeping his laws, statutes, commandments. Esau always tried to get Jacob to go away from that and to commit idolatry, commit strange acts. All right? So, you know, this is what Esau really wants. It goes on to say in the 57th verse, it says, and whosoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death. Yeah, the book of the testament is the Bible. Or if any committed to the law, you stay strong in your faith to the law. You held fast to the law. You ain't go astray. The commandment was for you to be put to death. Just like we read what Nebuchadnezzar was trying to do. All right? The first thing they did was went after the Jews. So as soon as the king made the commandment, we finna go get the Jews. Because they know that we hold fast to the law that was given to us by our fathers. You see, so we're living in a time where he's about to come all out. He's about to go all out to the point where he's going to try to get us to go astray from the law of Yahawah, that we may bow down to this idol. All right, to his image that he's about to set up. An ultimate, ticket and token that you are in agreement, in an alliance with this beast system is he wants you to take that chip, the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, man. All right, that's gonna be what seals the deal that you are in a allegiance with this beast, allegiance with this devil, man, allegiance with this agenda that he's been trying to do. All right, so this is a quick lesson through the spirit. I don't want to make this too long. I pray it was edifying. I pray it made sense. But once again, man, we're gonna be put in these situations. But ultimately, the Lord is going to deliver us from the same, even if we have to taste death. Better is to taste death than to bow down, Psalm 34 verse 19, it says, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. Barakatah Yahawah, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honor.